Right now, there's an awakening to the benefits of cannabis for medicinal purposes, specifically something called CBD oil. But is the new CBD craze being manipulated by media and politicians? If it weren't, we wouldn't need to do a show about it. The first step toward truth is to be informed.
Many different compounds in cannabis. Two of the most common ones are THC, tetrahydrocannabidiol, which is the stuff that's psychoactive. It makes somebody develop a high. And then CBD cannabidiol is there's receptors throughout the body for this particular substance. There's CBD1 receptors, CBD2 receptors. These are the two most common ingredients in cannabis. CBD, there's been shown for some time now, decades, that it can have a medicinal effect. Specifically, some of the early studies showed on convulsive disorders or seizure disorders. CBD is the more medicinal part of these compounds.
The CBD oil. You've probably heard of it by now, thanks to CNN's Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
People are lighting up all over the country.
Millions are now aware of the cannabinoid-rich oil being used to help children in Colorado with epilepsy. Especially this one little girl, Charlotte Figge, after whom the Charlotte's Web strain of cannabis has been named.
It's okay, baby.
This is their daughter, Charlotte, having a seizure.
I wanted to learn what CBD oil and the push behind it is all about, so I traveled to Denver, Colorado, home to legalized marijuana and the Stanley brothers, the family behind the Charlotte's Web strain of cannabis oil. They were the ones to prove in Charlotte Figge's case that CBD-rich cannabis oil can prevent seizures in children.
We had this strain that we were actually going to use for cancer patients because studies have shown that CBD helps stops the metastasizing of cancer. So we went ahead and tried it because we knew it was very low in THC, and after she had it a week later, she went a week seizure-free.
Yeah, kitty.
The child who had had 300 seizures a week was now down to just one every 7 days.
Charlotte Figge's life was transformed by CBD oil. Now, to understand what is unique about CBD oil, you have to understand what a cannabinoid is. Now, in marijuana, there are multiple cannabinoids, including THC, CBD, CBN, CBA, and over 160 other compounds in the plant, including terpenes from the plant that create the most effective medicine. Now, to be clear, in order to get a high from cannabis, you need to have a high level of just one cannabinoid, THC. Again, that's just one particular cannabinoid. Now, in the Stanley's case, they began growing cannabis with lower levels of that cannabinoid, THC, and higher levels of CBD.
The CBD is known to be a neuroprotectant. It's also one of the few things that causes neurogenesis. So it's not just seizures that this helps in epileptics, it's autoimmune disorders, whether that's cancer, Crohn's, lupus. There's so many different types of things. It's a huge anti-inflammatory, so all kinds of people would love to have this.
Today, in the stunningly short time since Charlotte Figge's story became famous, the Stanleys have thousands of patients on a waiting list for their CBD oil.
As you can see, it drips down. We're able to recapture the alcohol so we can reuse it. When it's done, we're left with an oil that is more like a molasses.
In fact, there are thousands of families who have already uprooted their lives and moved to Colorado for the CBD oil. Thousands more are on the way. They're called cannabis refugees.
I test it again, and then I can give it to the patients.